What's up? Your boy Domuto. We are back with another video today watching Damon What If Dragon Ball Chaos Crossover Z Season 2 Doom Frieza Saga Part 2. We are back with another video, man. You know how we do out here. Make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe, and shadow them pull back up. And I'm ready to see what's going on with this one. So, let's go.
Ginyu tells the group that they'll be taking these Dragon Balls now. As with them, Lord Frieza can finally wish for immortality. He says that he'll take on the big robot guy, but the team says he took the strong guys last time, so to try and let them do something. Ginyu allows the others to play rock, paper, scissors for who gets to fight, with Banyu sighing that all these guys are idiots. Banyu is a Ginyu Force member who really didn't want to be a part of the Force since she really hates all of the stupid poses that they do. But it was either leave them and get killed by the overwhelming new ultimate power of Black Doom, or stay here and have a better chance of survival. She decides to pick the lesser of two evils. She stays out of the rock, paper, scissors and says she'll go off with Ginyu to return the Dragon Balls to Frieza. It's decided that Guldo will get to fight with the two little ones, Krillin and Amy, while Recoome gets to go against the two robots. Our heroes aren't the biggest fans of these guys treating this like some sort of wrestling match, but are kinda happy that they only get to fight one at a time. Ginyu and Banyu fly off with the Dragon Balls, with Metal Sonic about to go after them. Amy tells him to stand down, that the Dragon Balls will be fine. Metal stands down as Amy and Krillin step up to fight with Guldo. The two power up and charge him. Since there's no Vegeta there to tell them about the Ginyu's weaknesses, they're unprepared for Guldo to just disappear in front of them. They wonder what exactly just happened, and Krillin is then blasted from behind. Amy turns to see what happened, but is then punched right in the face. Though she doesn't move at all, the punch didn't hurt. Guldo is shocked that nothing happened, and is then nailed right in the stomach by her hammer. Guldo is sent flying back, with Amy instantly rushing and going to hit him again. He disappears in front of her though, and she wonders how this guy is moving so fast. Metal Sonic announces that this guy isn't moving fast at all. He must be teleporting somehow. Amy doesn't really buy that either, as she's been teleported before by Chaos Control, and this feels different than that. For some reason, she can sense something psychic going on here. Every time this guy disappears,
Knock
she
his head
picks up
off.
on readings she hasn't really felt since when she would work on her tarot cards. She decides
Give
to
him the
test
old
something.
dick twist.
Amy can easily sense where Guldo is, so throws her hammer in his direction. Guldo panics and stops time again, moving out of the way to get to her. Once he runs over though, he's shocked to see that her eyes are following him. How is that possible? Amy shakes and then powers up, restoring the flow of time to normal. Guldo shakes, asking her how she was able to do that, with her saying that she's always been some sort of psychic, as using her tarot cards pushed her to be more spiritual. She's always known that she's had some sort of psychic ability, and she guesses that with her potential
Mickey,
unlock,
whatever.
she unlocked that part of herself. Now, she can handle any kind of psychic attack this guy can throw at her. Guldo isn't going to let his abilities be shown up like this, so uses his own telekinesis to freeze Amy in place. Amy is frozen solid, not able to move, as Guldo reaches to rip a tree out of the ground and throw it right at her. The tree is just about to hit her, until it stops right in place. Guldo is confused and tries to push it closer as hard as he can, but Amy extends her hand out to push it away from her. She honestly can't believe it herself how strong these abilities of hers are, and she throws the tree right back at Guldo. The tree smacks Guldo right across the head, and he goes flying, knocked unconscious. Krillin and the other Ginyu Force members can't believe how powerful Amy is. She shrugs it off, knowing that they're not out of the clear yet. Recoome steps up, saying she had a lot of interesting tricks up her sleeve, but it's nothing compared to the great Recoome. Jace and Birder tell him to lay off, as they'll take her after, and his opponents are the metal guys over there. Recoome agrees to back off of her and walks over to the Metal Sonic and Metal Goku. Amy is offended that he isn't taking her seriously and goes to attack, but Metal Goku tells her to stand down. His battle power exceeds hers, so she would be easily defeated. The two of them can handle this buffoon easily. Recoome gets into his special fighting poses and rushes the two. Metal Sonic is able to burst right up to Recoome as fast as he can to smack him around. Recoome doesn't really feel the punches, but is just annoyed on how he can't see what's hitting him. He doesn't realize that Metal Sonic is just a distraction, and Metal Goku appears to elbow him right in the stomach. Recoome doubles over, as Metal Goku kicks him away.
Okay, Metal Goku.
Recoome is able to recover himself and goes back into battle.
He ain't as
The
strong.
two clash blows, with the attack sending shockwaves through the valley. While Metal Goku is very powerful and can actually damage Recoome, it seems that he has the edge, as metal begins to get dense all over his body. Metal Sonic can't allow his brother to be defeated like this, and activates his Laser Wisp to blast Recoome away. The other Ginyus are surprised that little twerps like these have access to wisps. The Frieza Empire should be the only ones who have access to powers like that. Metal Sonic is now able to actually do some damage against Recoome alongside Metal Goku. Recoome is sent into the dirt with the two robots believing that they're victorious. That is until Recoome bursts out of the ground, smiling. He says that he didn't expect lowlives like these to have wisps, which makes this a lot more entertaining. In fact, to make this more entertaining, he might as well show them his own. Recoome activates his burst wisp, overflowing in a fiery energy. Krillin stumbles back in fear, as it can't be. Nappa, with his power, is able to go up against Piccolo. How can Metal Sonic and Metal Goku fare against a power like this? Recoome bursts towards them, and it seems to be no contest. With Metal Sonic's laser, he can avoid the hit super fast, but Metal Goku can't, and Recoome punches him right through the chest.
Oh shit.
He is kicked away as Recoome launches an eraser gun straight at the robot. Metal Sonic flies right towards it to save his brother, but it's too late as Metal Goku is hit and blown up. The only remaining part of him is his head, which rolls towards the cave. Amy and Krillin yell out as the two of them rush in towards Recoome, hoping to take him on as well. Recoome is up for another game, and apologies to Jason Berter as they're not going to be getting their turn.
That shit gonna be tough.
Swings at Amy, who blocks with her hammer, but to force it a punch launches her back. Krillin throws his Destructo Disc straight towards him, but Recoome launches a fiery blast towards the disc, completely disintegrating it. With his signature attack not working, Krillin fires a Kamehameha, but it hits Recoome dead on and does nothing. Recoome then appears in front of Krillin, and with one swift kick, Krillin goes flying back and crashes right into the ground, with all of his bones broken. Metal Sonic comes back in to try and do something, but the power increase at a burst is too much for him, even with his own Wisp power-up, and he is punched right out of his laser and towards the cave as well, not holding together very well. Amy swings her hammer to throw a tornado right at Recoome, which actually works a little, as it almost blows the flames off of him. The tornado isn't powerful enough though, and just annoys him. Amy is able to block his strike with her hammer, but not for long, as she too is knocked aside. Recoome stands over her, ready to stomp right on her head, until he is kicked right inside of his head. Nail lands and swings around for a roundhouse kick across the head. Nail helps Amy up, saying he's risking a lot by being here to help them, but if they die, then their planet dies too, and he won't allow that to happen. Thankfully, the Grand Elder's in direct communication with Nail telepathically, so he'll alert him if anything else is wrong. Recoome sits up, telling Nail that was a good shot, and he didn't expect a Namekian to be that powerful. Nail goes back into attack, but Recoome fires yet another eraser gun, point blank. Nail throws Amy out of the way, and takes the full blunt of the attack. Amy yells out no, and throws her hammer right at Recoome's mouth. The hammer hits the side of his face, throwing him off enough to stop the attack. Nail lays helpless on the ground with half of his body gone. It's a horrific sight.
Damn, Nail.
One that distracts Amy enough for Recoome to kick her away as well. Recoome lifts up Nail's body, saying that he may be powerful, but not durable. Nail then opens his eyes and fires his laser eyes right through Recoome's chest. He drops Nail as he reels in pain over the two holes in his chest. Nail uses his regeneration to regrow the other half of his body, and then fires his Mystic Flasher attack right at Recoome, knocking him down, badly injured. Nail then flies above him and stomps directly on his chest as hard as he can, crushing Recoome's ribs and pretty much killing him. Jason Berter look on wondering how Recoome could be taken out by just a little Namekian. He shouldn't have let his guard down like that. It's no matter the two of them though, as it's the two of them against a very worn down Namekian and Hedgehog. Nail tells Amy that they're right. He's exhausted after dealing with Recoome, so he's not going to be of much help now. Right as Jason Berter are going to get revenge for their fallen comrade, their starters go off, picking up a large power. Guru then communicates with Nail that there are more alien threats making their way to the planet now. Amy can sense it too. The power feels gigantic. Jason Berter know exactly who it is and tell the others that this isn't the end, and they'll come back for them later. The two fly off, with Nail and Amy worried that these two were so scared by these powers. Krillin walks up next to them, saying he can sense it too. Amy hugs Krillin, saying she thought he was dead. How was he on his feet? Krillin points to Dende, saying little green here picked him back up. Nail smiles, happy that Dende is here. With his healing abilities, they may have a fighting chance against the alien invaders now. Dende smiles, saying he's happy that Nail showed up, and is happy he can help. Dende heals Nail and Amy up, with Amy surprised on how great she feels now, since she's fully back to normal. Nail tells the others that they need to come with him to the Grand Elder, as if these other invaders are as bad as Guru says, they need to go with him so they can protect him, since if he dies, then the Dragon Balls will go as well. Bulma says that they can go off, and she can try and work on repairing Metal Sonic and Metal Goku the best that she can. Eggman gave her some parts to use in case they broke down out here, so hopefully they can
broke
be
down
repaired.
alright.
Krillin and Amy say goodbye to them as they fly off with Nail back to the Grand Elder, really worried on what is coming. Jason and Birder make it back to Frieza's ship, where they find Frieza, Ginyu, and Banyu trying to find a way to use the Dragon Balls. Jason and Birder tell the group that they can detect the Black Arms making their way to Namek. The others can't believe it, with Frieza cursing that they can't use the Dragon Balls for some reason, and they need to find a way to activate them so he can defeat that troublesome Black Doom and his new ultimate life form. Jason and Birder say there was a Namekian that joined the fight with the group they took the Dragon Balls from, so he might know how to activate them. Perfect, Frieza thinks, as now all hope isn't lost. Frieza tells the Ginyus to hold off the Black Arms long enough for him to activate these Dragon Balls, and once he does, they'll be nothing to his might. Frieza pinpoints Nail on his scouter to go after him. The Ginyus fly over to see the Black Comet hovering in the air, and countless Black Arms flooding out of it. Ginyu tells his men that they've had to fight these guys before, so they can do it again. They'll do their best to hold them off for Lord Frieza, so to activate their powers. Jace unleashes his Drill Wisp as Birder activates the Lightning Wisp. Banyu activates her Crimson Eagle, with Ginyu bursting into his own Frenzy. The Ginyu force all get into their poses and rush towards the Black Arms. Shadow the Hedgehog walks over to Eclipse, asking if he's okay. Eclipse tells Shadow that he's really happy to see him, as these guys were a lot stronger than he thought. Shadow eyes down Sonic and Goku. For some reason, deep inside himself, he feels a sense of familiarity, but can't put his finger on it. Sonic goes up to Shadow, saying he can't believe it's him. He looked for him for years, and all this time he was up here in space. He's really happy to see him again. Sonic goes in for a fist bump, with Shadow punching him away. Sonic asks what's the matter with him. He thought he'd change on the Ark. He saved them all from its destruction, so why is he back to being a jerk? Shadow genuinely has no idea what this fake hedgehog is talking about. He's never met him before in his life, so to stop confusing him, Goku appears in front of him, eyeing him down. Could it be? Goku lunges into attack, with Shadow blocking the blow really easily. Goku quickly sneaks his hand on top of Shadow's head and looks into his mind. He sees multiple images of a dazed and confused Shadow floating out in space, surrounded by the Chaos Emeralds, and him being picked up by Black Doom. Black Doom connected him to the Black Arm's hive mind somehow, and with the Chaos Emeralds in his hands, they've gone on to destroy so much life throughout the universe. Shadow punches Goku away, telling him not to do that again. Goku wonders how is it possible that Shadow can be working for these guys? Wasn't he just an android? He's not an alien. Eggman speaks up, saying he never expected Shadow to be related to these Black Arms. Sonic asks him what he means, with Eggman telling him that he did some research on the Ultimate Life Form after the incident on the Space Colony Ark.
Okay.
He found out that his grandfather didn't work alone up there on Shadow, and that he had some help from a malicious alien life form. He didn't know the alien's name, but in his grandfather's notes, he said that this alien was extremely dangerous, but was able to provide Shadow with his DNA to help him be completed. Meaning, in a way, Shadow is a member of the Black Arms. Black Death is surprised that these Earthlings know Shadow, and says that'll make this so much more interesting. They need to find a way to bring Shadow back to them, but Shadow isn't having it. He only listens to Black Death and the Black Arms now. Goku and Sonic stand together and transform, saying they're a lot stronger than the last time they fought against him. Together, they can return his memories and bring him back. Shadow summons his Chaos Energy, ready to exterminate a few more life forms for the Black Arms to feed off of. Goku and Sonic appear right in front of Shadow, ready to bring him back. Gohan goes over to Vegeta and gives him a Senzu Bean, closing up the hole in his chest and giving him a pretty sizable Zenkai. Vegeta pushes Gohan away and sees Kakarot and Sonic fighting against this other hedgehog, the one who attacked him.
Damn,
Vegeta powers up, ready to get revenge, until Black Death and Eclipse stand in his way, saying they're going to be finishing him off. The rage that Vegeta is feeling right now is enormous. First, he has to resort to his Wisp powers again to stand a chance against Black Doom's lackey. Then he gets taken down in one blow by another furry, and finally, he gets saved by Kakarot's brat of all people. He isn't going to stand for this humiliation anymore, and powers up. Vegeta's screams echo throughout the Nocturne ship, with Eclipse and Black Death being blown back by this energy. Vegeta's form changes as he has achieved, just as Kakarot has,
the Akari.
the Akari transformation. Goku, Sonic, and Shadow have their fight, with Shadow teleporting all around them and knocking them right into each other. Shadow is much more powerful than he was before, and doesn't seem to be putting much effort into this fight at all. He's able to be even faster than a Kaioken Sonic, which he didn't think was even possible. The two get beaten around with the ship crumbling away due to all of the immense fights taking place. Thankfully, Gohan, Shade, and Julie Su manage to take out the remaining Black Arm soldiers, but since Vegeta is going toe-to-toe with Black Death and Eclipse, with Sonic and Goku going for Shadow, the ship isn't going to handle much more of this. The emergency alarms begin to blare that the ship's structural integrity is failing, and the crew needs to evacuate. Sonic speeds away from Shadow to the others, telling them they need to get into their ship and get out of here before it's too late. Gohan says that they can't just leave him here, they'll die in the ship. Sonic tells Gohan that it's okay, and him and his dad have a plan to stay alive. None of them are going to be able to face these remaining Black Arms aliens, so need to get to Namek with the others to do what they came to do. Gohan tries to fight back, saying he's coming with them, but Eggman and the two Echidnas drag him inside their ship as Eggman restarts it so they can
need you on Namek.
Sonic watches as the ship blasts off towards Namek and feels better knowing that they're going off, where hopefully it's safer than it is here.
It's not.
While Goku was holding off Shadow, he wasn't able to do very well on his own at all.
Well, it's a
Shadow
big planet,
continued
so
to
you
chaos
can
control
maybe a
away
little bit
from all
longer
his
than
attacks and appear behind him to slash at him with a Chaos Spear. Goku is thankfully fast enough to avoid being impaled, but not enough to get away unscathed. Shadow only has a look of battle in his eyes, a look to eliminate the enemy, and do what is best for his people. Goku knows that the Shadow they know is in there somewhere, but it'll be impossible to reason with him like this. Sonic rushes Shadow from behind, finally getting a good blow in there. Not good enough though, as Shadow instantly turns back around and elbows Sonic into the ground. Now the ship is finally tearing apart. Black Death and Eclipse are able to lead Vegeta onto the Black Comet to save themselves, with Sonic grabbing Goku and flying towards the comet as well. The two make it on just in time as the Nocturne ship crumbles and explodes. The group look out for Shadow, since he was still on the ship, but Shadow is able to Chaos Control away and appear in front of Goku to punch him right in the face. With the two being beaten down to the dirt, Goku telepathically communicates with Sonic, saying that he has a plan to try and get Shadow back in control of himself. If they're able to take out Black Death, who seems to be the leader here, maybe that will free Shadow. Sonic thinks it's worth a shot, but they can't fight one-for-one with Shadow for long, or else he'll kill them. Goku says they're not going to be fighting one-on-one, since he told somebody else to plan already. Suddenly, a Gallic gun fires right past them and into Shadow. Shadow catches the blast with Vegeta powering through his own attack and appears out of it to punch Shadow away. With this distraction, Goku barrels into Eclipse, knocking him away from Black Death. Goku then kicks Black Death directly into the ground and launches a point-blank Kamehameha at the monster to erase him completely.
Okay, Goku.
Shadow and Eclipse both scream out no and clutch their heads in pain. Goku thinks it's working, and then with Black Death's, death, then they're getting out of his control. Eclipse falls over unconscious, with Shadow just grabbing his head and grunting on the ground. Goku walks over to Shadow, telling him it's okay now and he can be free. Suddenly, Goku gasps as he is stabbed right in the chest by one of Shadow's Chaos Spears. Vegeta yells and rushes Shadow, punching him right off of Kakarot. Goku reverts back to his base and falls to the ground. Sonic speeds over to catch him and watches as Goku coughs up blood, wondering how that didn't work. Sonic begins to shake in anger once again. After all this time, they finally get to see Shadow, and he's like, "This? Why is everything going wrong? He's not gonna let it go on like this any longer." Sonic's anger envelops him once more, with Sonic blasting into Dark Sonic. Dark Sonic pushes Vegeta aside and nails Shadow right in the gut. Shadow spits up blood as Dark Sonic begins to attack him with a flurry of blows. Vegeta watches worried as he knows the kind of power that Dark Sonic has. He's gonna try not to get on his bad side this time. Vegeta makes his way back over to Eclipse and sticks his hand out ready to blow him away as well. Goku grabs onto him though, telling him to stop. Vegeta yanks himself out of his grasp, asking him how he's standing again. Goku says he saved a few senzu beans for himself, so he's all set and feeling stronger than ever. They can't kill this one, since if he was connected to the same hive mind, then he'd probably be dead. He was connected enough for it to hurt him, but he's probably as much of a victim as Shadow is. They can't kill him. Vegeta scoffs at Kakarot's naivety as he spared that shadow over there, and look how that turned out for him. Goku is eventually able to get him away from Eclipse, and the two watch as Dark Sonic tears into Shadow. The two hedgehogs chaos control all around, attempting to strike down each other. Dark Sonic is the more ruthless fighter, dealing a lot of deadly strikes, with Shadow keeping up somehow and trying to fight back some more. It's clear Shadow isn't going to survive this for very long, until he removes his inhibitor rings and bursts into a red glow that looks similar to the Kaioken. Shadow unleashes his full power onto Dark Sonic, making the fight a lot more even. The two bounce all around each other, landing a lot of good strikes that hurt the other. Even though they seem pretty evenly matched, it's clear that Shadow can't keep it up like this forever. With all of his chaos power leaking out, he's going to wear himself down to nothing. Shadow realizes this and unleashes a large chaos blast to catch Dark Sonic in to push him away. This blast begins to overtake the comet, with Goku grabbing Eclipse and having to fly away with Vegeta. Once the dust settles, Shadow puts his inhibitor rings back on, with Dark Sonic flying back over, a little injured but still ready to beat down on him. Shadow says he doesn't like to use these without Black Doom's orders, but it seems he has no choice now. Dark Sonic doesn't know what he means until all 7 of the Chaos Emeralds appear and swirl all around Shadow until they fly into him, and Shadow explodes in a golden light. Dark Sonic looks on as Shadow has transformed into Super Shadow. A much more powerful Super Shadow compared to last time. Super Shadow asks Dark Sonic if he's ready for round 2.
I don't think so.
Amy, Krillin, Dende, and Nail stop at the Grand Elder's hut, with them all sensing gigantic energies. It seems that other threats have shown up, and those Ginyus are using the Wisps to battle them. On top of that, it seems Frieza is making his way here. Amy and Krillin are kind of freaking out since they definitely can't handle Frieza the way they are now. Guru indeed confirms that this may be the end of Namek. The alien invaders known as the Black Arms have arrived on the planet, and with Frieza coming here, it seems he doesn't have much time left. He puts his hand on Krillin's head and unlocks his hidden potential, giving him a pretty sizable boost. He also gives Dende a boost too, and says that Nail will distract Frieza the best he can, and that these 3 should go off back to Frieza's ship and take the Dragon Balls back, since the others are distracted. With this, they can revive their friends and keep the Dragon Balls out of everybody's hands. The 3 wish them all luck and promise that they'll try their hardest. They all lower their ki so Frieza can't detect them, and once he arrives at the Grand Elders, Nail is able to lure him off to fight. With that, the 3 then burst back off towards the battle. The Ginyu force burst around attempting to kill the Black Arms surrounding them. Thankfully, they are much more powerful than most of the soldiers with their Wisp powers. Birder is able to fly around with his super speedy lightning form and electrocute a bunch of them out of existence. Jace is able to drill through countless soldiers, with Banyu scooping up a bunch with her wings and throwing them straight at Ginyu, with him attacking them with his frenzy. Black Doom watches from above, realizing that with these Wisps, the Ginyu force can easily keep this up and wipe out all the Black Arms. He needs to deploy more of his troops. Black Doom sends down the Black Bulls to attack, with them knocking Banyu right out of the air. Jace comes in to save her by drilling through one of them, but he is then bombarded by plenty more Black Bulls from all around. Their fire breath begins to burn him and knocks him out of his Wisp form. Birder rushes in and electrocutes the remaining Black Bulls all around him, but it's too late. Jace has been burned to a crisp. Birder explodes in rage to the death of his best friend, and rushes all around to eliminate the Black Bulls as fast as he can. Ginyu and Banyu hold off the other Black Arm soldiers as Birder goes after the Black Bulls. But Ginyu doesn't know how much longer he can hold out on his own. This is when Amy, Krillin, and Dende arrive to see the carnage all around them. The Ginyus are holding off the Black Arms as best as they can, but there seems to be too many of them. Ginyu then unleashes his Spike Wisp and stabs all the soldiers all around, as he then moves in to help Birder against the Black Bulls. Banyu is left alone to handle the other soldiers, and while she is able to do a bit on her own, the soldiers pile towards her in too many hordes, eventually knocking her out of her Wisp form. Right as she is about to be overrun, a giant blast knocks them away, with Shade and Julie Sue appearing around her, shooting the others away. Amy and Krillin are shocked to see other echidnas here, and more shocked to see Gohan flying right alongside them and battling the Black Arms as well. Banyu says it's about time they showed up, and asks where the rest of the Nocturnes are. Shade says that she's looking at the last ones, no thanks to these guys. Thankfully, with Shade, Julie Sue, and Gohan helping the Ginyus, the soldiers are pretty much all defeated. This hurts Black Doom, as on top of his soldiers pretty much dying off, he can also feel a connection severed with the passing of Black Death. This is not a good day. And now he's finally going to be stepping in. He may not have Shadow here with him, but he'll be more than enough for these guys. Black Doom flies down from the Black Comet, landing in front of everybody. The Ginyus huddle together and thank the Nocturnes and the little guy for his assistance. Gohan smiles, as these guys seem pretty cool. Black Doom says the Ginyus made a fatal mistake not running away from Frieza, as this is where they meet their doom. Ginyu steps up, saying the Ginyus will never fall to the likes of him, and they'll defeat him for the Frieza Empire. The Ginyus get into their poses, with Black Doom irritated and attacking them. This is just what Ginyu wanted, however, and launches his Change Beam straight at Black Doom. Black Doom expected this, and the Black Eye flies out and takes a Change Blast head on. The Black Eye then looks around confused and looks up at Black Doom in horror. Black Doom crushes the eye in his hand as Ginyu, or now the Black Eye in Ginyu's body, walks over to Black Doom, ready to fight for him. The others curse as Gohan asks what just happened. Julie Su tells him that Ginyu's special move was changing bodies, but he just changed bodies with the Black Eye, and now he's dead. The Black Eye's in Ginyu's body now, and somebody they'll have to fight. Ginyu and Black Doom rush towards the others, with Burter and Banyu activating their Wisp powers again to try and match Black Doom. Banyu is able to smack him in the face with one of her wings, while Burter blasts him with some lightning. Ginyu attacks the others, with Julie Su, Shade, and Gohan doing a pretty good job holding him off. Thankfully, the Black Eye doesn't know how to control Ginyu's body, so it isn't doing a very good job at fighting. Gohan is able to smack Ginyu right into the other two, with them blasting all around him. Ginyu falls to the ground as Shade pounces right on top of him and unleashes a blast point blank, killing him. They turn to go and help the others, but look in horror as Black Doom is holding the lifeless bodies of Banyu and Burter in his hands, and throws them off to the side. He doesn't have a single scratch on him. He wasn't kidding about his power. He rushes after them until he is suddenly stopped in place. Amy does her best to use her telekinesis to hold him off, but he's breaking out fast. Krillin jumps in front of him and unleashes a solar flare to blind him. Black Doom roars in pain as Krillin tells the others to run. The group quickly get out of there and fly off as fast as they can behind some mountains. Gohan gives Amy and Krillin a hug, happy to see them. Julie Su tells him to be quiet, as he's definitely listening for them. Black Doom flies around, demanding the group come out where he can see them, or he'll destroy this whole area around them. The Nocturnes just think he's bluffing, but no. Black Doom creates a very powerful blast in his hands, prepared to throw it right down. They all gasp and are about to reveal themselves until a singular beam hits the blast, exploding it in Black Doom's hands. Black Doom tumbles back and regains himself to see who fired. Frieza flies down in front of Doom, saying he's not so tough without the ultimate life form having his back, is he? Well, now it's finally time for them to decide who truly is the ruler of this universe. And with that, we're gonna end this part.
Okay. Hey, this part was fire. This part was fire. Dark Sonic, Shadow coming in, fucking shit up. Vegeta got the Ikari form. You know, Gohan and them on Namek. So, you know what I'm saying? Black Doom, whatever his name is, Doom and Frieza about the box. Ooh, okay, I'm ready, man. Shout out to Damon What If. Make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe. Check out the last chapter right here. Check out another video you might like right here. And I'll catch y'all next time, man. Peace.